All right, let's talk about chemtrails. Here is a post from a Facebook group. It says, I don't know what's going on, but about 4:15 I went to Dollar General on a bypass, and to the south you can see 21 planes with chemtrails flying all different directions. There's none behind me. There was none to the side. It was all to the south. To heck are they doing? So that's a lot to unpack. Just looking at the grammatical issues, the random capitalization doesn't really fill me with confidence that this person is an astute observer, but that's okay. We're not going to focus too much on that. There were actually quite a few comments that push back against this idea that chemtrails are a thing, which was kind of refreshing to see. However, there was somebody who also posted this, thank me later. They, whoever they is, are geoengineering. If you want to keep up with the chemtrails and what they are putting in the air, go to map.geoengineeringmonitor.org. So this person is commenting that, okay, they're acknowledging that there's nothing in the immediate area where this was posted, but they, again, the infamous / nefarious unspecified they, are spraying over Lexington. Okay, so let's go to this geoengineering map. We have a pop-up information thing here. This interactive world map on geoengineering prepared by ETC Group and the Heinrich Boll Foundation. Don't know anything about those. Sheds light on the alarming expansion of geoengineering research and experimentation. Okay, so literally the first sentence here in this disclaimer that pops up uses loaded language. Alarming expansion. So these groups that are behind this geoengineering map, it's pretty obvious that they have a negative view of any project that's happening that could be considered geoengineering. It's great that this tool exists, assuming that the information contained within it is accurate. But this is not scientific. Like, scientists are trained to be as objective as possible and to report facts and to not do any interpretation, even in like tables and figures in scientific peer-reviewed manuscripts. You know, it literally just tells you what variables are illustrated here. They shouldn't offer any sort of interpretation. If you want to remain objective and scientific, you absolutely do not want to use loaded language like that. You don't want to pass judgment and potentially influence the way people are thinking about this material right from the get-go. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in on the state of Kentucky, which is what we're talking about here. So there was nothing in the immediate area, but again, this commenter claimed that quote unquote they are spraying over Lexington. There is a green dot there. Okay. Oh, look at that. When you put your cursor over that dot, it tells you more information. U.S. federal funding for DAC. I wonder what DAC is. University of Kentucky Research Foundation. Okay, so let's click on that. Oh, wow, look, a whole informational thing pops up. So, description here, in March 2020, the U.S. administration announced up to U.S. $22 million in federal funding for direct air capture. Oh, DAC is direct air capture. In September 2020, the U.S. Department of Energy published a list of 18 selected projects for cost-shared research and development under the funding opportunity announcement. Novel research and development for the direct capture of CO2 from the atmosphere. All selected projects aim to develop new or improve existing filters or sorbents to capture and release atmospheric CO2. The National Energy Technology Laboratory is responsible to manage the selected projects. The lifetime of the projects is 1 to 3 years. Oh, well, it's almost 2025. And again, that commenter was claiming they are spraying over Lexington. Well, we've already completely disproven that. which apparently they didn't take the time to actually look at what was actually happening here, which was literally a click away. The University of Kentucky Research Foundation plans to develop a new membrane system for CO2 capture from ambient air. The new DAC approach will be based on a ceramic membrane and a tailored electrochemical process. The research project will be conducted in cooperation with Smith Management Group. So, research and development lab scale project was selected and announced in 9 of 2020. The project term was only from January 2021 through March 2022. And here's a bunch of websites that talk about it. So I just want to talk about the irony of making a claim that, again, the nefarious and unspecified they are spraying over Lexington. No such thing. In fact, it's literally the opposite. This research project was looking at ways to take CO2 out of the air. And I find this particularly ironic because I've interacted with a lot of chemtrail conspiracy theorists, and it seems that there's a large overlap between people who believe that chemtrails are everywhere and people who also completely reject the science behind anthropogenic climate change. So on the one hand, they believe that yes, we absolutely have the technology to significantly alter the weather and or poison the populace for depopulation agendas, or whatever the hypothesis of the day there is. So again, on the one hand, they completely believe that that's possible, but they also will oftentimes reject the idea that adding literally tons of a greenhouse gas to the air can in no way modify the weather / climate long term. So this was just such a great example. Somebody claiming something, and then the fact that they didn't even bother to look into it at all. It would have taken them 2 seconds to look into it to back their own claim up. It was just stunning to me. So again, definitely look into things. This information is out there. You just have to take a little bit of time to try to gain an understanding of what's actually happening and not taking people's words for the gospel truth, so to speak, on topics like this.